So let's see what we have right now. So we have a cat list here, and I can click the cat name to pop up the cat image. Click on them. Right. So I'm going to add a admin button. I think I can add it at the bottom of the list, after list, and when I click that list, the button is gonna pop up something. Allows me to add a new cat. Right. So when I initialize this page, I will initialize this button. So it's going to be something in the initial function. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. So let's go to the HTML we have here. So we're just going to put that into the column 4 here. So we're not going to directly put it here. We're going to render it from the JavaScript. I'm going to get it from JavaScript. In the view part, here is a view, right? Well, we're adding the button, so it's definitely going to be in the view. And in the initialize, the left cat list, and after we initialize the list, right, I also want to add a button to it, right, and admin button. Right, after the list is done, I also add a admin button. So let's create this button. So let's say constant admin button. It's just admin btn is a document. Create element, create this button, create a button tag. And for this button tag, I'd like to have some style on it. For example, I'd like to have admin button. Let's say what we need. We need a text content is equal to some content showing just say admin. Or let's just say add new cat. Add new cat. Add new cat. That is admin button the txt content. What it's showing there. Also, I want to give it some class. So to give it a class, just say admin button the class name is equals to btn warning. Right, so as a bootstrap classes, style it. All right, so also let's add it to the left column. See how it looks like right now. Left column, the append child. Append child. This admin button. Append this admin button into the left column.
Okay, semicolon after the button column.
Sure, let's add a semicolon here. So here is a button. Oops, that looks good. Why is it's not getting into my class? btn warning, maybe just one n. Yeah, here we go. Maybe I want add some space between them. I can, I have btn button, btn warning. I can also have a class called margin top empty dash 3. I need some margin top to it. Save the file, just adding some space between them, right? So adding some space there. Adding a new cat. If I click that, something gonna happen. Right now it's nothing because I haven't added an event listener to it, right? So let's add an event listener. When I click it, something I want to be happen. So before I append that to the admin button, I'd like to add event listener to it. So admin button dot add event listener. When I click it, I want to run a function. I'd like to run a function called, let's say, show form, right? That's function name. Show the form. Actually, I think I need to call it this show form, because I'm gonna create that inside the view part. Inside the view part. So it's a view.show form, this function. Right, so for the show form function, let's add it at the end of it. Right, this is a function for render, and a comma, and let's create the show form function. Show form is a function. Right now, let's just console. Oops. I cannot type console.log hello from show form. So that means we are connected with that button. Let's try it. So hit F12, open the developer tools. Once I click the button, I get hello from show form. So then that is connected with the function. Right, I can remove the console log, start writing the things I want it to be. Right, I can start writing the things I want it to be. Let me see. I'd like to add in a form, so I need to create a form and append it to the column. Right, I need to add a form, create a form and append it to the column. So what we're gonna do is create a form document. The create element. Create a form. It's gonna be kind of annoying. So with constant, just call it a form. I'll create a form. And we need also to create create three inputs. One input is for the cat name, one is for the cat image, another one is for the number of clicks I want to initialize. So we're gonna have a constant input. Let's say name input. Just is equal to document the create element is input tag, right? And for this name input, we have to give it some classes, some type, all those things. So it's going to be name input the I think what it's called a set attribute, right? Set attribute. We need to have let's say the default type is text, so I do not have to have a type. It's default by default. Oh, I will need to have a label for that. That's a lot of stuff. Yeah, it is a lot of stuff, but yeah, it's just right now that's the only way we to do it. So let's also create name label document the create element. Well, it's not hard. Just repeating the create element, and create element. Create a label. All right, label the name label. So name label the text content is what is that? It's going to be cat name. And before the label, I also need a div to put them inside there. That's a lot of stuff. So constant cat, let's say this is form group. It's the first group. It's going to be name group. You go to document the create element. Create a div, which is a cat group, and I'm going to put the name and label and input inside it. So this is a name group. Inside it, we have name label. It just have the text is cat name and name label. The set attribute for this is for the cat name, right? Cat name. That is also going to be the ID for our inputs. So they matched when the 4 equals to the ID, like we can click the label to focus on the input, right? So we're gonna for the input, we're gonna say the opposite ID is equals to cat name. I'll just leave it like that. I don't know what else we need. Just for now. Oh, I also need some classes. Yes, I forget. I remember that. Name group need a class form control, form group, and input need a class form control to make it looks longer. Right now, it's just don't add them. Right now, let's just say how it looks like right now. So that's a lot of stuff. So let's see. We have the name group, right? We're gonna append child. Ending the name label. Right, that's adding a name label, and also the name group going to end in the open chart name input. Right, those things are in this div, and we're gonna add this div into the form. So we're gonna do name, not name, just form the open chart. Put this name group inside it, and we also need to add this form into our left column. So document the query selector, select left column, selected the, what is that? It's class, right? Class column 4. The append child. Gonna append the form into it. Let's see it right now. So okay, it's not showing the form right now, but once I click the button, it shows the form, the cat name and the empty space I can enter stuff. Right, let's make it looks better. Let's adding some style to it. Right, so run. Oops! Every time I click it, it's just adding a new one for me. No, that's not what I expect. So what we need to do here is every time I click it, I need to reset up the form. We need to reset the form. So I'm gonna say, before I adding anything, I'm gonna say form the inner HTML is equal to empty. I'm gonna clear it up and then doing the rest of things. So every time I click it, it's gonna clear what I have there and recreating something new for me. So click it, it's gonna give me, and I click it again, it's gonna clear it up and adding a new one. Never mind, it's not. What? In HTML, you go to empty. Alright, so I think I need to doing more than that. I need to let me see. I definitely need the form to be empty, and I also need the, let's see what do we need here. I maybe need to reinitialize the left column. I kind of like not understanding why this is not working. Need to think about it. So console.log the form in the HTML. Right, console log it. See how it looks like. So I click it. It's empty. Yeah. Click it again. It is still empty. But why I have 2 here? Is that because of this append child? And I need to remove this current child from the left column and then end it. So let's try to remove it. Let's make this column so constant left column is equal to this whole thing, so I don't have to rewrite it, just let's column the append child. And then before I append it, I'm going to remove the current one, I think. Left column, the remove child, the form. Remove the current form, not in here. Let me put this at the top. Now remove the current form and do all these things and add in a new form. Well, let's try that. Form is not defined. I'm going to put the form above it. Try it again. Remove child, no node. Node to be removed is not a child of this node. What? Fail to execute and remove child. Remove child. How to use remove child? Let's check it. So JavaScript. I did add it first. I think it's already added. Oh yeah. If there's no form, it's not. If there's no form, it's gonna give me an error. That makes sense. So I need to also check if there is a form or not. That's annoying. Let me see if there's any easier way to do it. That makes sense. I shouldn't have to do all those things. It should be automatically do it for me. Let me think it again. So we'll create a form. We're getting the form. We're getting a left column. We set up the form to empty and do those things and append the form into left column. No, okay, I see the problem. I shouldn't be using append child here. Alright, so what we're going to do is, let me see, let me think about it. So I appended the admin button.
Should it all be in one function?
Well, there's many ways to solve this. I'm just thinking which is the best practice. Maybe I can do it this way. So once I append this admin button, I also append a form into it. I add the admin button and an empty form here. So I'm gonna put the form into the initialize function and append that form into it. Left column append the form, adding the form into it. Right, and the button, and then adding the form. All right, so it's already have the form. So I do not have to add a new form. I just changing the existing form to something else. Like every time when I do show form, it's going to clear up my current form and edit the inner HTML inside it. So I do not need to select the left column from here. I just need to say the form in HTML equal to empty. This is reset the form and adding those things into the form. Right, I think that's work. Let's try it. So add new cat. Form is not defined in line 84. Oh, here I need to copy the form definition. Not create, just select that form. So we already created that. Let's select that form. So it's going to be document. Let's say constant form is equal to document the query selector, the form we just created. So it has a form tag. So just select the form. And let's see. So document. Oh, I have typo here. Document. Here we go. Click again. Now it's not creating a new one for me. So every time when I click it, it's gonna clear up my current form and replace the content inside the form with a new thing I put here. All right. So that's what I expect. And let's add in some style to it. I can make it looks better. So we are going to adding some class to both the group and the input. So for the group, here's where I created the group. I'm going to say the name group, the class name is equal to form group, and a group and a class to it. It's from Bootstrap. And also for the input, we're going to do the same thing. So name input, the class name is equals to form control. So right now when I add a new cat, it's gonna make it in the separate lines, right? Form group and form control. right? So that is name and just a name, and then we're gonna repeat the stuff, the steps to do the image, the picture, and also the number of clicks. So we're gonna repeat the steps. This one from here to here is ending name input, right? And we're going to ending the picture input. So we're gonna copy this whole thing.
Why does it seem like it's more code to put that name down there than there is in the original,
Huh?
cat clipper?
The original cat clicker?
Imagination?
What? I'm sorry?
It seems like you're writing more code to just add that name down there than you are in the original code.
What do you
Just
mean?
adding it to HTML.
You mean just adding it to the HTML code? But if you adding that to the HTML code, that's going to be at the top, because those things are added after the page is loaded, the list. Remember that? So if right now if I put something here, button, admin, it's going to be on the top, because the JavaScript file is executed after the page is loaded, right? So if you want to add something after JavaScript is loading, you're going to have to also add it in JavaScript. It sounds like tricky, but yeah, you have to do it that way. Maybe that's not the best practice. So because of my bad structures, right now I have to add it in the JavaScript. So if you want to add in the HTML, that's maybe a good suggestion. We can rewrite this one a little bit.
Okay, so now
So
you've got the column 4. That starts with.
right, let's start work here, right? So if I put the UL tag here, and I can initialize the list here, and then I just directly put my button here, and this is a button, and new cat. It's both ways works, right? This right now I'm showing you another way. So has class. Well, the form has to be dynamically, because it won't be there at the beginning. So it's only when you click the button it's going to show the cat form. So that something has to be in the JavaScript. But the button can be here. The button can be you can just put the button here if you want. But it won't make the code too short. For the part where adding button is just 3 lines, I believe. It's in here. Yeah, 5 lines. We create a button, adding the text, adding class, and add the listener, and add it to the left column. That's a button. And the button will be showing at the beginning of the page, but the form it won't. The form only showing when you click the button. So when you click a button, I will call a function. It's called this show form. This is a show form. This function here, and which is going to end in that form. All right. So the form wasn't there before you click the button. Only when you click the button, it's going to end in the form. So this is why it has to be in the JavaScript. All right, let's keep going on this one. So ending picture input. We're just adding a name input. Let's create the picture input. Let's copy all the lines here, and let's just change the name into image group. Image groups class is equal to form group image label. I'm gonna call this one image label. I'm gonna call this one cat picture or cat image.
Go back up to image group class name. Is that what you still want? Line 101.
101.
Image group equals class name.
Image group equal to class name. What do you mean? Yeah.
That should be name.
Class name? Yeah.
What? I'm sorry.
Class name is form group, right? Okay.
Yeah, it is form group.
Okay. Yeah, I got it.
Let's keep going. So here I have a name label. Change that to image label. This is for the cat. That's the cat picture. Just match how we call them in the object here. This is how we call the picture, so we just call it picture. So do not confuse yourself. So let's keep going back to here. Image label, cat picture. Name input should be image input. create image, create input. This is image input. It's your lower I, sorry. Image input. Its ID should be cat picture. Image group. Append the image label. Image group, then ending the image input, and then for the whole form we want ending the image group. Here we go. I think that's it. Let's take a look at that. So I click that, the cat name and cat picture. Right. Oh, that's a lot of stuff. Alright, we're not going to do the clickers. We're just going to start. We're just going to default the start of the clicker just be 0. Right? We don't want to repeat this one. Just always start from 0. So that is how we're ending the form. We're ending a form of 2, and we also want ending a button here, like the confirm and cancel.
Wait, come back up just a second.
Yeah.
For you to call a new cat, don't you already have to have that image in your image file?
That is true, but we are going to using some image online. We're going to just using the online source instead of image in my folder. Right, we're just going to using online images.
Where the images in your folder came from. Well, wherever the images in your folder came from,
You're
you're
adding a new
pulling
image.
from the image. You're pulling from that folder to populate those new fields,
Yes.
right?
Yes.
So why can't we use, so to follow that through, then doesn't that mean that the new cat also has to be up top in the model section?
So image.
5 cats up top now.
Right. Listen. Okay. Stop.
Sorry, go ahead.
So for image, it can have source like from your own folder, or also you can get a source from online. Remember that if you put the image
If I
here.
just had it memorized, I could write it off my head. Right?
So if I create an image tag, and you will be able to, you can call the images you have in your folder. You can see like this is source is from image folder and cat. The JPG, you can do that, and you're gonna show the cat image. And you also you can refer to any images online. Like say if I search for cat image, and I'd like to show this image over there, like this one.
Okay.
I can just copy the image address and put the image address there instead of the image I have here, and it's also gonna work. It's also gonna work. You can always using the image online or use the image you stored in your locally. But in this case, since we haven't learned how to upload the image, we're just gonna use the image online for any new cat.
Okay.
All right.
Now, just following through on that. Well, I guess you're gonna get to it. If you don't mind, go ahead.
So we have the ending picture input. We have the form is ready, and we also need 2 buttons there. So I need to end in 2 buttons. Ending buttons. So we're gonna say constant button is equal to document the create element button tag. I need 2 buttons. First one is called let's say submit button. Submit button. Let's call it submit BTN for shorter. Submit BTN. And we'll also need another button. Let's just first finish this submit button. So for this button, we need the text content. So submit button is equals to the text content is equals to submit. Yeah. And also I need some class to make it looks better, makes it looks like a submit button. So I need to submit button. The class name. Gonna need a BTN success, make it in green color. And right now let's ending this button into the form. So form the append child, append this submit button. Submit BTN. And right now it's going to have a submit button. Right? Every time I click it, it's going to refresh a page. I'm going to prevent it later, but right now it's going to happen. All right, so let's keep going. From the open child, submit the button, and next one we're gonna do is ending the cancel button. All right, so we're gonna also have a cancel button. So constant cancel button. It's gonna be very similar. That's how you spell cancel. 1L or 2L?
1L.
1L. Okay, cancel button. Document the create element. Create another button. And we say cancel button. The text content is just equal to cancel. Let's make a space here. Cancel. Then cancel button. The class name. Gonna make it looks danger, so I'm gonna use the danger color. btn danger. Right, and then add it to the form. So it's gonna be form the append child. Append this cancel button. So right now, if I click a button, it's going to show both of buttons. Right, submit and cancel. So the cancel, right now, it's also going to submit the form. I don't want it to be submit the form. I'm going to change the type of this button.
You know what?
Change the type of this button.
Okay.
So the type. So right now, by default, the button in the form, when I click any button, it doesn't really know this is submit, this is cancel. They are the same.
Right.
Every time I click it, it's going to submit to the whole form. And I will change the type of it. For example, I'll say, before I end the cancel button, I'm going to say cancel button, the set attribute. For type of this button, I want to change it just to a single, it's just a normal button. Won't submit the form. The default setting is submit. Like that means when you click a button, it's going to submit the form. But if you change that into a button, it won't submit the form anymore. I change type into button. So right now, if you click the cancel, it won't do anything. Click it won't do anything. If you click submit, it will refresh the page. It submits the whole form. But if you click cancel right now, it won't do anything. Right. And let's add in some space between them. So I'm gonna drag this button to the right. So I'm gonna say float right. Make it to the right side. All right. Submit and cancel. Cancel won't do anything. Submit will submit the whole form. Right. Okay. The first step is ready. Like whenever I click this button, it's going to pop out the form. And right now we need to worry about like once I enter something, hit submit, it's going to submit my form to my list and refresh it. This is just like what we did for the bookmarker. I enter something, click yes, and it's going to refresh it. So for the whole form, I need a event listener. Once the event is submit, I need to do something. Right, for the whole form, I need an event listener. Where is the place where we're adding the form? I think it is in the initialize, right? In the initialize. That's where I add in the form. So this is help me to know where I should modify. I need to add an event listener to it. So the form dot add event listener. Once this form is submit, so it's a submit event listener. Listen for submit. If the form is submit, I want to call a function called add cat. Add cat. Well, I'd like to put this function inside the octopus, because we're adding this cat into the model. Right, adding this new cat into the model, but we cannot directly communicate with model. We're gonna call the octopus to do this for me. But right now, I'm gonna call the first call function inside the view function. I'm gonna call it inside there. So I'm gonna call. Give me 1 second. So we're gonna call. Let me see. View. Just this add cat, because I'm currently in the view. This add cat. And this add cat function, I'm gonna put it at the end of the view. Add a comment here. Add cat. This is a function. What it does is just going to call the octopus the add cat. Right, it's the same name function. It's gonna add in the cat name and the cat picture. Well, just no. This is, let's just create a cat structure here. Oh no, sorry. This one shouldn't create cat structure. Yeah, just name and picture. This is a view. So we are going to get in the name and picture. So constant cat name is equal to document the query selector. Select the input we just created. That input has ID cat name, right? This input has ID cat name. That's what we give it here. The ID of it is cat name here, cat name. Alright, so again the name of it, I want to get in its value. This is what the user input there. It's value. No, not the value, just value. Yeah. No. Why it keep changing for me? Stupid. So getting the value of it, and then passing it to the octopus. And I also want to get in the cat picture, so let's copy that. Cat picture. Document the query selector and passing in the cat picture, the value, right? So octopus going to send. I'm going to send this to the octopus at cat function.
Octopus is wrong.
Which one?
Octopus.
Oh, cat picture, capital P. Octopus. So octopus, right?
No.
I think that's how I spell it in here. Maybe I spell this one. This wrong. How should we spell it?
T-O.
T-O.
Yeah.
This one.
Yeah.
Octopus, like that.
Yeah.
Is that correct?
Yeah.
Okay, I'm gonna using this one to replace what I had wrong here. This one I have it this wrong. I also have which one I have it wrong. I think the only thing here is just the new one I created. Let's see if there's anything wrong. It's gonna tell me I have it wrong, and I'll find that warning to fix those things. So. Right, so I'm calling octopus and cat function. I don't have that function yet. I'm gonna create that into the octopus. Octopus is here. So I'm gonna have a new function. It's called add cat. That is a function, and this function going to communicate with model. So I'm going to call this function gonna take two things. The cat name and the cat picture. Right, those things pass in from the view. And right now I'm going to give the two things to the model, and the model going to handle this. So I'm going to call the model the add cat, and give it the cat name and cat picture. Or easily we can just construct this one as an object. So we can create a new cat. Maybe it's better to do that in the model. It's maybe better. It's up to you. You can do it in the model or in the octopus. Really, just in the octopus, just connect them together. So I just call the function inside the model to add the cat. And inside the model, right? So I'm gonna have the function add cat, which is going to add really doing the things to add a cat. Cat name and cat picture. So this is function actually going to be the function actually adding the cat into the array. So we're going to say we'll create a new cat, constant cat is equal to the cat with I just create a new cat with a cat name in here and cat pictures. Right, this is how we create a new cat. And we're pushing the cat into our cats. So it's going to be the cats, the push this cat into it. Right, the cat is here, and this is a new cat. Push that into it. Once those things are done, let's go back to add cat here. In the view, once the octopus sends all the requests to the once that cat is adding to the list, I want to refresh my list, right? I want to refresh my list. How do I refresh it? I need to reload it. Oh, I forget one thing. Once the form is submitted, I want to prevent it from refresh. I do not want to refresh the page. Actually, I can ask it to refresh it. Just let it refresh it. Nothing gonna be wrong to refresh the page. Let me see. Let's try it right now. Let's try it for now. So if I add a new cat, let's say a cat called Peter. Cat picture. Let's looking for picture online. Let's find one we never used, like smaller one, this one. All right, that's a small picture. I'm going to open image in new tab, copy the image address. So put that in here. That address for the image. Submit. Oh, the page is refreshed. We did not store it, so it's just gone. It's like I have to refresh. I cannot refresh a page. I'm going to prevent it from refresh. So put the E here, event, and e.prevent default. Don't ask it to refresh a page. We're going to have to add it manually. Yeah, my bad. So we prevent this page from refreshing right now. If I click submit, it won't refresh the page, and nothing is happening. So we are going to do three things. So let me think about it. Adding a cat, and we need to redo the initialize. How do I reinitialize? Let me see. Let me check the function initial. Now for the initial, I may need to add in one more line here to ask it to reset it. Reset left column. I need to reset it. So left column, the in HTML equal to empty. Every time we need to set it to empty and then do the rest of it. Otherwise, it's going to create another list when I call the function again. So if I do not reset it, once I call the initial inside every time when adding a new cat, it won't delete the old list. It's adding a new one after it. And every time I call the function, it's going to add a new one. I'm going to have like tons of lists here. Right, I can show you how it's going to work. So if I remove this line, just add it. I add it here, right? If I just remove it, and what I want to do is I want to every time when adding a new cat, I want to initialize it. So I'm going to call this the initial to initialize my page. So what it's going to be looks like is every time I'm adding a cat, let's say I want to add in cat Peter, and it's a picture of that. Hit submit. Nothing is happening. You see, I think I'm getting an error. So line 20, cat is not defined. And cat 139, main 20. 20. What? Cat is not defined. Constant cat. It's a new cat. Does it mean the new? No, it's impossible. It seems like I cannot use the class to add in a cat.
You don't have.
I have it here. I have the class outside. Alright, let's try to add it with old ways without. I don't have that. The columns. No, this is a function. Oh yeah, you are correct. This should be a column and a function. You're correct. Should be like that. This is yeah, let's try it. Add cat, add Peter with this URL. Submit. Cat is not defined. Same issue. That is stupid. It's okay. We're just going to use a traditional way. Like we're going to say a constant cat is equal to object a new cat with a name is equal to the cat name I give it, and the picture is going to be the cat picture, and the clicks is just start from 0. All right, start from 0. Let's try it this way. See if that works. If that works, I'm gonna try to do it with the way we were trying to do. So let's try it this way. So add cat, picture, add image, this the init is not a function in the line 144. Oh, because I called, maybe I need to call view, because I create a function. It's in the function scope, no longer the no longer it's in the views. It's no longer in the view scope. So maybe I need to call view the init. Maybe that's the same issue for that cat. Maybe that's the same issue for this one part here. I'm gonna fix that. Right. So this the cat maybe need to be model the cats. Push it. Let's just try it first. So add a cat, add Peter, an image, submit. Let's say just create a new list for me with the Peter. It won't clear up the old one I had there. So that's why I added that line to ask it to clear it up the old one. So in the initialize, remember the line is coming out. Initialize to the top. See the code getting more longer and longer. It's harder for finding things you did. So this is why you want separating the concerns. Initialize. This is where I reset the left column. Let's leave it back. So right now, if I add a new cat, Peter, and a picture, boom, Peter is here. Right, Peter is here, and I'm able to do it with it. But Peter won't be here forever. Once you refresh the page, it's gone, because it's not hard coded inside the initialize inside here. It's ended afterwards. So that means it won't last here once you click once you refresh the page. It is stored in some kind of, it's called memory of your computer. Every time when you refresh the page, it's gone. In the future, we're gonna learn how we can how we save our data inside the database, and that's gonna be somewhere last forever, unless you clear it. Or one possible thing we can do is we can store the Peter into local storage. That's also gonna work. But we're not gonna worry about this for this project. We just leave it like that, right? So right now you can add as many cats you want, and as long as you add it, it's gonna show in there. But once you refresh the page, it's gone. All right, just let you know what this is all expected. So you can add in the cats right now. All right, and so one last thing left here is the cancel button. Once I cancel it, I want to hide this form. I want to remove this form. Right? I do not want any new cats. So I want to remove this form. So let's go into do the last thing. That's one last thing we left here. For the cancel cat button here, it's cancel cat button. Let's add an event listener to it. Once I click it, I want to clear up the form. So it's going to be cancel button dot add event listener. Once I click it, I want to cancel the form. So that's why I'm going to create a function called well, I just going to directly put it here. I put the arrow function and see the form dot in HTML is equal to empty. Just reset it to empty. Right, let's put it inside here. I think that's good enough. So if I click cancel here, it's gonna cancel it. It's gonna clear it up. Right? Once I cancel, it's gonna clear it up. Submit, going to create the cat for me. All right. So you can see, like, we actually learn a lot of things here. Like, we know how to initialize the list, and we know how to add in new things by just click a button and adding couple even listener, like something listening the form submit, and once I click this button, it's gonna submit the form, and we can do something according to what we submit. And I also learned like how to cancel it. Like once I cancel it, I can just reset it to empty. Right. So those are the cats. I think that's it for this form ability. I'm going to stop recording and share the video.